With the March Madness tournament quickly approaching, I'm going to go back and look at some of the best TV scoreboards that have been used all time during the tournament. I'm sure most of you guys agree one of the best parts of the tournament is the graphics and of course the music. Now in this video, I'm going to go back and look at every single scoreboard from 1998 to present day and give my honest rating on it. Let's get right into it here with my empty tier list. Now I have 4 tiers for this video. At the top is God tier, and then good, boring, and it hurts my head at the bottom. And our first scoreboard we're working with here is from the 90s, 1998, and this picture is taken from a CBS game, Valparaiso, Ole Miss, the Bryce Drew buzzer beater 3, and you see the scoreboard here in the bottom right corner. It's kind of like a rectangle, kind of that old school boxy scoreboard. They have the CBS logo there. The color's kind of weird. It's kind of like a washed out orange brown color. I see what they're doing. It's kind of like a basketball themed scoreboard. The clock is way too big. I don't like the big clock kind of taking out, like expanding outside of the bottom of the score box. But I love the simplicity of the team names, and the scores themselves looks very good in those little boxes there. 69 to 67 before the shot. I think Valparaiso won 70 to 69. So I put this one in boring tier. Because let's be honest, it's simple, but it's kind of like generic. It's the 90s, what do you expect? It lacks any team colors, personality, and nothing too unique about it. So it's going to be in boring tier, kind of near the bottom. But it's not horrible. It doesn't hurt my head looking at it. It's just kind of bland. And the second here is 2003. So 5 years later, after Y2K, we're in the future now. The internet's becoming more of a thing. And here's our updated scorebook. Now it looks... To me, it looks older. It looks like early 90s, like late 80s. This thing really aged horribly. But here's my thing. I like the color on this. I like the blue. It screams March Madness. It screams NCAA basketball. And I love the little CBS logo above the half. And then the clock is so much better on this one. I like this a lot. Obviously, it's lacking the team colors, which is a big thing nowadays. But back then, it wasn't so much of a thing. I put this in good tier. I put this above the 90s scoreboard. I just like the simplicity of it. The team names pop very well off that dark blue, and it gives off very, very NCAA vibes with that color scheme. It's a lot better than the orange. We left that in the 90s. Now we're in the 2000s. We're in the future. And then going way into the future, 2008. So another CBS game here, the national title game between Kansas and Memphis in 08. I think this game... Where was this played at? I don't even know. I was way too young back then, honestly, but... Okay, so this scoreboard screams a video game. Obviously, this was used in a video game, I think. So this scoreboard, it's way too big. It's chunky, it's tubular. I don't like the very bland colors, like the gray, and like kind of the blandish blue for Kansas there. The ncaa and CBS thing is huge on the right. It takes up like a third of it. It's totally unnecessary. The font is really generic. I don't like this thing at all. Obviously, it was used during the title game in 2010 as well with Duke and Butler for the last time ever. Guys, I don't like this one at all. I'm putting it in. It hurts my head. Just looking at it, it's large, it's tubular, and it's ugly. Let's be honest. Leave this thing in the 2000s. And that's what we did. Moving on to 2011/2012. I guess the first year this one debuted was 2011, but this is from 2012. Duke versus Lehigh. What a great upset that game was. So they revitalized, re-enhanced their whole graphics in 2011. Boy, it looks so much better. It looks clean, looks HD. I love the team colors. They pop. This thing, it looks kind of industrial. The games look serious with this scoreboard. I love the logo in the middle. I love the font. There's so much nostalgia here for me personally. The early 2010 scoreboards were so nice. Dayton's run to the Elite Eight in 2014. 5 years, I think, they used this scoreboard. Personally, it's my favorite of all time. I'm going to put it up in God tier, lower God tier. It's not like perfect, but for now, it's the best one. The only thing I'd say it's lacking is the team logos. I love having logos. That's more of a thing these days now, but back then, this was good. And oh, it was so nice. When they got rid of this thing in 2016, I was so sad. Speaking of 2016, our next candidate here, our next victim is the 2016 through 2020 or 2019 scoreboard. Obviously 2020 was canceled. So here's the title game with Villanova hitting the game-winning shot. So this thing is nice. It has a glow to it, has a nice sheen. It's just too big though. When this came out, it was like so large. It kind of covers part of the court. The colors are a bit too poppy, I think. They kind of wash out North Carolina there. That like really bright, glowing blue. Same thing with UMBC here. The yellow is just popping way too much. I will say it's pretty clean. It's, you know, futuristic, whatever. They're going for like a newer, classier, shinier scoreboard after the early 2010s, like grungier aesthetic. It's just too big though. The logos for the channels are too big. They take up like so much. No. This thing's kind of clunky, and for that I put it in boring tier. Obviously it still lacks the logos as well for the teams, which I personally don't like, but none of these have logos so far, let's be honest. I put this in just above the my head hurts tier. It can't be worse than the 2000 scoreboard, but it's definitely boring. I'm glad we got rid of that one about 5 years ago. And then here we go, the modern day scoreboard. This debuted in 2021 during the COVID tournament. And I recall people were so upset when this came out, and I'm sitting there like, no, this is a great scoreboard. We finally have the team logos next to the names. The colors are not too bright, but they have a nice pop where you can kind of see the letters. Guys, this one's so nice. I love having the mascots, the logos next to the names. It just creates more of a personality to the tournament. Obviously, it's college. You need that. And yeah, this has been used for the last 4 years. It's so nice. I love it. But I can't put it at the top. It's gonna be in the top of good tier for me, but there's something about that early 2010s, like 2012 scoreboard that's just so nice. It was so perfect, and we can't beat that. So here's my final tier list. So the bottom is the 2000s one. That was just ugly. And the current day one is very good. Now they might change it this year though. There's rumors going around actually that they're looking at updating it this year, a new graphics package entirely. Here's some mock-ups of the potential scoreboards. This one right here is pretty ugly from Reddit. This is probably a fake one, but yeah, we'll see what they do. I hope they keep the current one, honestly. I love the team logos right there. Anyways, guys, put in the comments below which one's your favorite, and thanks for watching this video. Many more March Madness videos on the way, and I'll see you guys next time. Peace out. Bye.